Do you agree with his assessment that there is a significant drop-off in the value of the asset that could be turned into R.J. Barrett versus the one that can be turned into Darius Garland?
I don't think it's as significant as we are making it seem to be. I mean, just think about what he just said about Darius Garland. At the start of the year, he was our #1 point guard on our board. That means that he was better than John Morant. So he has the ability to score. He's now more of a scoring guard. Now, he had more turnovers than he had assists in his 5 games that he had at Vanderbilt. So the sample size is really small. But what we saw before he got to Vanderbilt was a player that people thought had the potential at his best to be a 10-year, 12-year starting quality guard in the NBA. Now, the knee injury kind of changes things a little bit, but if in his workouts he's able to impress enough, that pick becomes more valuable because he has talent, and this is a shooter's league, and he can shoot.
Yeah, if you weren't watching last night, I think it's important that we keep repeating. The difference between 3 and 4 is an important one here because the Knicks are at 3 and the Lakers are at 4, and those feel like the two teams that sort of line up now to be at the top of the Anthony Davis trade conversations, and just how much more valuable will someone like David Griffin view that 3rd pick than he will the 4th pick. The Lakers have other better assets on their roster to trade than the Knicks do. So I'm asking you to look into a crystal ball here. Anthony Davis, he could stay in New Orleans. He could get traded to the Knicks. He could get traded to the Lakers. I suppose any number of other things, in theory, might happen. Yeah. He has a lot of control over the circumstance. Where do you believe he will be opening night of next year?
I believe he's going to be with the New York Knicks. And I think that 3rd pick in R.J. Barrett, David Griffin will look at that with pairing him back with Zion Williamson and moving that franchise forward in a positive direction. So I see the Knicks getting Anthony Davis.
That would be something else. Sean, you agree?
Well, I agree, and I think it makes the most sense also for New Orleans. And here's the reason why. New Orleans isn't going to be a free agent destination landing spot. So you've got to be able to build your organization through the draft. You have to build it with players that want to play with one another, that could say, hey, me and you together, we can create something special. If you have the opportunity to bring RJ and Zion back together again from where they were at Duke and now reunite them in the NBA, even with the market size of being New Orleans, and even with the Pelicans' history, you have an opportunity to build with those two players having multiple All-Stars in one draft and keeping them long-term together.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, R.J. Barrett is a better prospect than Kyle Kuzma was. He's a better prospect than, maybe not Brandon Ingram, but there were extenuating circumstances.
I think he's a better prospect than Brandon Ingram was.
I mean, that might wind up being the best option that they have. We'll see.